Beware of one Nigeria's trick to hijack your sovereignty. After we finish telling you all these things, because people will say, okay, what's the solution? What do we do as a people? We know. We'll tell you the problem because that's the nature of our show. We tell you the problem, we present the solution for you because there is a solution. One, beware of one Nigeria's trick to hijack your sovereignty. As Ninas is working towards the emancipation of the people, to get the sovereignty back for all the indigenous peoples, there are some people that are called the one Nigerian people. They want to keep the unitary Nigeria intact. That unitary Nigeria that does not belong to the people, they want to keep it intact under the 1999 Constitution. So as we do what we're doing, they come and want to say one thing or the other. It's all trick. They keep tricking you so that you don't understand. So this picture is Nina's, of course. We didn't make we are just using it. We use Nina's materials to continue to educate you and enlighten you through the week. You'd have seen it in the platforms. So sovereignty hijack. Let's tell you so that you understand. When you hear, once you hear it, you know that okay, these people are planning to hijack our sovereignty. When you hear amendment of 1999 Constitution, they want to hijack your sovereignty. When you hear maybe they're talking about 1960 Constitution, 1963 Constitution, 1979 Constitution, all those ones are obsolete. We have moved past those ones. It's not who we were then that we are today. So it's not those ones. We're not going back to 1960 or 1963 or 1979 Constitution. That's not what the solution is. That's not where we're going back. So when you hear them, they're speaking English and they're mentioning all those, they are if you don't listen to them, they want to steal from you. They want to continue to hijack your sovereignty. Do not listen. When you hear them say, oh, parliamentary system, we want to propose parliamentary system, this is the National Assembly, is a lie. They want to hijack. They have hijacked. They want to continue to hijack it. When you hear them talking about their corrupted version of restructuring, when you hear Ben Kalun, Emeka Anyoku, they're coming with 2014 confab, Fokbounda and Tinubu coming with their draft, they just want to steal your and hijack your sovereignty. Do not listen to them. Note, one thing we want you to hear and understand is this. Sovereignty belongs to the indigenous ethnic nations, not to the politicians, not willing tools. Whether they come as federal government of one Nigeria, or they come as National Assembly, or they come as state governors or states, they are all together. They want to steal your sovereignty. You, the people, you, the indigenous people, Ndi Obodo in Igbo language, all of you in the village, power belongs to you. Sovereignty belongs to you, and you have the mandate, not the politicians. Do not listen to them. We are talking about you. You need to beware of one Nigeria's trick to hijack your sovereignty. Let's tell Ndibo. You see that Fakunda or Fahundo or Wapunda? What that man, that's a man, what does he Akin Fakundo? So, I don't know how to call
Just don't say it. It starts with
I mean, it sounded like Igbo or something like that.
Oh my gosh. Yes, yes, it goes in line with his despicable attitude. Yes, it makes sense.
Oh, sorry that I had to use that word, but excuse me, but it's not. That's what it's just sounding in my ear. That Tinubu, that their plan. I still laughing. And they're just terrible than me at all. And they don't have terrible names, like the name that whatever it means, I don't know. But our Yoruba people, maybe help us with the meaning of that name. It sounds so horrible, And the things he's doing, they're so horrible also. So him and Tinubu, his brother, they want to continue to keep Ndibo. Because the Caliphate led 1967 Evil Alliance. Please, the next slide. That dot in circle that they created, they want to maintain it. They want to keep it because that's what they swore to do. They want to continue to keep Ndibo in dots in circle. That dot in circle that Buhari spoke about. with no international or coastal borders. And then where the people of Ndibo are balkanized into southeast, south, middle belt, all that. That's what they want to continue to do. They're not here for anything good for you. Every other region in that their proposal has international border and or coastal border, except Ndibo.
What a wicked act. Like
I'm
the you guys haven't done enough wickedness.
I'm telling you, they're not about to repent. They are puppets. So, except Ndibo, whose communities and families are scattered into southeast, south, middle belt, so that they will remain political minority. Are you listening? And their marginalization will be in perpetuity. Ndibo, listen. If you're Ndibo, listen to us. Listen. That's their plan. So those promoting Biafra or promoting Nnamdi Kanu are working with this one Nigeria politicians, because they are the ones promoting the massacre going on in Igbo and the marginalization. They are working with them. In the afternoon, they shout freedom. In the night, they massacre our people. It's not for freedom. It's not for self-determination. How did we know? Because they have refused to be on the table with where the conversation to free Ndibo is taking place. They are not interested. They are interested in stealing money from those that are contributing abroad. Those are Efuref people that are contributing money in diaspora for them. They are making wealth. They are very rich now. You see them now. That's why they can dance on social media. They wear isiago and be dancing for you. When they come to court, they wear designer Fendi. This Fendi they are wearing every day, they will iron it and keep it. Another day is white. It's not stained. And we're inside prison. No? We're inside prison. Our Fendi is whiter than the one that oh, Aru, they will wear it and come and shout. All a distraction. They are just distracting you from what will bring freedom to you. You see this map? This is 1967, 70. That was when it happened. They put Ndibo in that dot place, that white, cutting away all the other boundary, peoples, all the people, our own brothers and sisters. In some families, when they get there, they divide them into two. Like my husband's people, their family members are in Delta State. Some are in Edo State. Family meeting, family. My father-in-law in those days used to go to a Delta State from Edo State to Delta State to go for family meeting. As we speak, in the same family, some answer Delta State, some answer Edo State.
Wow.
That's what they did. Just the same way the 1884-85 balkanization of Africa is the same pattern. So when you hear all these states, oh, we are creating states, oh, they want to create states, is a lie, it's balkanization. Dividing families because they want to steal the resources in the land. Do not listen to them. Beware of one Nigeria trick to hijack your sovereignty. Beware. But there is a plan. And that's what you need to follow. So we're going to break down the Nina's strategy for self-determination in percentage to you. We are still talking about what you as a people need to do. What you need to do. If you understand it, if you understand Nina's proposition, it will be easy for you to follow. You see how the people are in one voice. We must speak in one voice. If you want freedom, if you want self-determination, we will work in one voice. All the indigenous peoples in the alliance territory, we have one common enemy. The common enemy is those invading our land. So we must work together in one voice. This is what we want. And that's what Ninas has done for us. Through the years, for over 25 years, you can see people publishing things, Guardian newspapers and main media. Some people that have brain that's not coming in, but some that want to steal are still stealing. But we are moving on. Whether they wake up or they don't wake up, we are going. Thank God for internet. Are we not doing the broadcasting? Everybody has become a broadcaster now. Whether you're a doctor, you're a nurse, you are a teacher, you're an engineer, we have become broadcasters. Don't lie to us anymore. We are now in time media. Everybody. We have media now. Media is media, whether it's social or whatever. We are here. So your lie has expiry dates. So we break it down for you. The first, we put it in percentages so that you understand what has been going on. 5% was given to intra-regional alliance. That's inside indigenous, all the indigenous peoples. They went home in each indigenous ethnic land, because we told you that each indigenous population is living on an ancestral land. So Ijo on Ijo land, Igbo on Igbo land. Igbo, you say we heard Igbo, not Biafra. Igbo, there's no Biafra land anywhere. Just like there's no Nigeria land anywhere. The ancestral lands, Igbo land, belong to Ndi Igbo. Ijo land belongs to Ijo people. Yoruba land belongs to Yoruba people. Efik, Tiv, all these people are all the indigenous people. They went in to have what you call intra-regional alliance to discuss among themselves how we're going to approach this self-determination and how do we want to go. So that has already happened. It was 5% of the work that needed to be done. Then inter-regional alliance, that means one national, indigenous nationality and the other one. That's how they work together, and then eventually they came with the word Ninas. It progressed over time, because it didn't start now, like we said, over 25 years, work has been going on. Not on social media, on the ground, because those that are waiting, oh, I've never heard of Ninas. Don't worry, I got of Ninas. We'll bring wine to your house. Kabiesi, come and hear of Ninas. If you have heard of 1999 constitution problem, then you have heard of Ninas. So that's 5%. Then we have what we call international imperative. That is discussing with stakeholders and investors, foreign investors that came into our land to make investment. They have to be carried along. That is 5% of the job. Already done. It's done. All this we're saying, done and dusted. Done and dusted. That's what we spent 25 years doing. Delegitimization of 1999 constitutional order. Part of what we did was constitutional force majeure, FM. Some people say, oh, you have done constitutional force majeure. Then not. Keep quiet. Listen so that you maybe you understand. It is an ongoing process. It is implementation and enforcement of that agreement, that consensus. We gave it 75%. That work, Pronaco, when you hear Pronaco, Nadeco, all these things going on. In the weeks ahead, Ninas is going to come out with more information to show how the peoples, the indigenous peoples, Ndiobodo, how they've worked with them. For those that are lying to themselves, waiting until we come to social media to start shouting, then you know that we are working with Ndiobodo. That is going on. So where we are now is the 5% of mass mobilization. 5%. That mass mobilization, 5%. And all the people making noise about freedom, self-determination, whether you're Yoruba nation, whatever, Biafra, whatever you call yourself, is in this, all that your noise is collapsed to 5% of mass mobilization. So, and the only way that your noise would be meaningful, whatever you're doing in the name of mobilizing your own people is falling into this 5%. You that you are leading those your people, you better go and study what Ninas is doing so that when you're explaining to your people, it will make sense. If not, your noise will be swept away. That by the time what is coming will come, you and your noise will be thrown into forest because your noise is definitely that is distracting people's ears. So if your noise that you're making about freedom for your people is not in line with what is being said, the international standard, that means your work will be wasted. Because when the people wake up, they will sweep you out. That's the way I explained it to somebody. I said, if you're somewhere, you're making, like you're going in this direction, and wind comes, the wind will carry you. So you give you wings, you fly, you do more. But if you're coming opposite, the wind will get you down. So anything you think you're doing for the freedom of your people, you better start listening to Ninas. Go and study, go and see what is being, so that what you're doing will be in line. That mass mobilization is 5%. The public enlightenment, advocacy, everything is 5% of the work that needs to be done. And that is what is going on. This is part of what we are doing as Daughters of Truth. We came in, they had done most of these things. We said, okay, if they have done, there's no need to reinvent the wheel. We joined them. We went to study all the things. These things you see us talking about. We were not there when some of them were done. But we went to study them, watch videos, study material, prepared ourselves. That's why we're able to explain these things to you. You're supposed to be doing the same thing. Another 5% is transitioning government. That is the interface with existing government order, because we told people there will not be any vacuum. It's not like, oh, some people say, oh, if we put that 1999 constitution, wouldn't there be vacuum? There's no vacuum. There's interface. It's going to move from A to B, like they did in South Africa, 1990. What they did in South Africa when they destroyed the apartheid constitution, 1990, Codesa, they moved from existing government order to the next one. There was no vacuum. It's simply the same way. That's the same way. Thank you, my people. Have you learned anything? Have you learned anything today? Please write the comment down. Share. Tell someone. If you learned something, please tell somebody else. Share it. That's part of the advocacy. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my sister. We are making headways. Thank you so much for that. Our brother David Salami said God has disgraced the frontline media. God did not only disgrace them, he slam dunked all of them. So who is listening to them nowadays? Right?
Okay, fine.
Right?
Yeah, propaganda.
Yeah, you can use your British accent, your American accent, your Texan accent. You're on your own.